so much for being on the podcast today. This will be episode, now that I actually kind of keep track of this, episode 21 of season 2. So that's really exciting. Hell yeah. Today, guys, I am sitting with Madison. Would you please introduce yourself to the listeners and I usually just let the listener or the guest speaker intro themselves, and that's my favorite way to do it. So if you don't mind, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm Madison Thompson. I've been doing competition archery for just over 10 years now, I think.
Amazing.
Somewhere around there.
Gosh.
But yeah, I've been super into it. Getting into hunting, which I'm super excited about. That's kind of my new goal. Definitely grew up with a background in guns and shooting. Mm-hmm. So kind of familiar with that. And yeah, just have a lot of, I guess, aspirations for this year, getting back into it. I had a little bit of a hiatus. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of getting back into things and really just focusing on enjoying the process and having fun with it and not putting so much pressure on it. So,
I like that.
A little bit about me, but
wonderful. I did not know that it was over 10 years of competition. You've probably said that to me.
Yeah.
I've talked to you a little bit, and I've said a few times, like, no, I want to talk about this on the podcast, because I think it's so much cooler to kind of react and converse on it in the moment. So there's a chance I was like, don't remember that so that you can hear it on the podcast. Yes. But anyway, that's so fantastic. Yeah. And would you like to share what you do kind of full time or?
Yeah. So I actually am teaching this year. So I work with some gun companies, work with some archery companies, still do some of that on the side. Mm-hmm. But as far as my day job, teaching, which has been so fun. So I'm teaching first grade this year, which is, oh my goodness, they're so lovely.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And is archery kind of like an outlet for you away from teaching and being in a classroom kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I grew up kind of with a background of guns and loved guns. Absolutely love it. But archery is very much like my zen. I feel like guns is very exciting and we're going
loud.
Yes. Yeah. And especially when I was younger, I was like, okay, I can only do this for hour and then I'm kind of done.
Yes.
But archery is I could be in the range at 3 hours and be like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? So yes, very zen. I don't know, I lose myself when I'm shooting for sure. So
absolutely. So how did you get into archery traditionally?
Yeah. So
originally, yes. I was thinking traditional archery, and then I was like, wait, that's not the right word. Originally,
yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. You're good. I went to a youth camp type thing. So we did, rock climbing and canoeing, all the fun outdoorsy things, which is so up my alley.
Classic.
And we got to the archery part, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. I love this. It just clicked. Mm-hmm. And so I was 12. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to ask for a bow for Christmas. I'm going to, ask Santa, right?
That's awesome.
And anyway, so my parents got me a bow and thought I'd shoot it for just a couple months and be done. And here we are 10 years later and just love it. And yeah, just been going ever since.
So you were do you mind me sharing? We just talked about your age. So you were is that okay?
Yes.
12, 13?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Wow. Okay. So most girls your age were probably asking for what was cool when you were 13.
I don't know. It was kind of that awkward point where it's you're not really a little kid anymore, but not really a big girl.
Right.
So yes. The little makeup kits or things like that.
Yes.
And I'm very girly girl in some ways, right? 50. I love I just did my nails today.
Absolutely. Super.
But
I love
also very town girl in other ways.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, like I said, it just clicked with me. I just loved it. And I was like, this is awesome. So
yes.
But yeah, definitely out of the norm. I didn't have any other friends that were doing that. Most of the time, I feel like when I talk to people about how they got into archery, it's very much my grandpa shoots or my dad bow hunts or something like that. And I just went to this camp and it was cool.
Yes.
This is what I'm doing with the rest of my life.
Absolutely. So. I just had a flashback. Did you ever hear of Camp Kanakuk?
I don't think so.
Okay, it's kind of a Missouri thing, and I lived in Arkansas, so it wasn't that far, and they did have archery there, but it wasn't until my my uncle introduced me to it that I actually enjoyed it. So I don't know why camp stressed me out. I felt like there were too many kids around. Maybe it's almost like I was leading up to my shooting life where I'm really muzzle aware and I'm on the range and looking around. But I was like, I don't trust these weirdos not to shoot me. Yeah. And I just remember being really anxious as a kid. It wasn't until I was older that I took to it, maybe 15 or 16. But no, that's so cool to hear. I can totally see it, the traditional camp and the did they have the blue and red circle targets and matching kits, or was it?
I don't even know. I remember getting started in it, but I'm pretty sure we were just shooting at hay bales or something.
Nice. Super cool. Yes. Okay. Nice.
But yeah, it was just super chill, very beginner. And anyways.
Very cool. Okay. So you started then, and then how did you keep up skills and like progress as a 13-year-old?
Yeah. So I just started, like, found a local range, started going there pretty regularly. And then my coach, he's been my coach like for as long as I can remember, I guess, since I started, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But he reached out and was like, hey, like, you're really good. Like, do you want to be on my competition team? Like, and I think you would do really good. And then that's kind of where it transitioned from like, oh, this is a fun hobby, like this thing I picked up, to like, oh, like this is my sport, like I'm going to do this.
Right.
And so that's how I was introduced to competition, got on the bat team, have been with them forever. Still go shoot at that local shop all the time.
That's awesome.
Get to see everybody.
Okay.
But that's kind of where that transition point was for me.
Nice.
For hobby to sport, I guess.
Right. So did you say he worked with you one-on-one a bit?
He had like a competition team.
Okay.
Which was super good. Yeah. Because I got to shoot with people that were way better than me.
Oh, nice.
And so it's like,
That's really
okay,
good.
like I can become this, like, and they're going to give me tips, and they totally helped. And then having some like actual coaching, somebody who knew what they were doing and was had been in it for a long time, showing me what to do. So
that's fantastic.
That's helpful.
Super cool. Okay. And then as far as like the type of shooting, did you start with traditional bow, compound? Where did you start?
Yeah. So I was compound from the very beginning.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Have you ever done traditional?
I haven't. Only like going back to like little camps or like, like they'll have it. So I started, my very first bow was a Genesis, which is kind of like a mix between the two. So there's not like a set draw length. So that's kind of what they market for, is like any draw length, I guess.
I see.
But I started with that bow, which is compound, but kind of weird mix. And then upgraded to a different one, and then just competition bow.
Okay.
So anyways, but
that's so
compound
cool.
From the beginning.
Okay, good to know. Today, all I have to offer is my 35-pound traditional, I think, recurve. It's technically a takedown recurve. It's the ones that they have at the shop when you need to rent a bow.
Yes.
So I have that today when we go shooting. We're going to go shooting at this after this episode at a local club, and that is all I will be bringing with me.
That is okay.
It'll be fun. If you want to play with it, feel free.
I absolutely would love to.
Perfect. At some point the string is going to snap because I need to probably restring it. But I'm really interested in compound shooting. I've gotten to shoot a few friends' bows since I've started, and I think it's so interesting, and I think like recurve traditional has a really special place in my heart. But I'm always interested in like trying multiple disciplines within a sport, so I'm excited to like learn more about that and do that. I actually know nothing about archery competition, right? So like I could explain USPSA roughly to you, and like say IDPA and shotgun. But how does an archery competition work?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on what you're wanting to do. So there's going to be indoor, which is usually 20 yards. You're going to be shooting either a single spot or 3 spots.
Okay.
And it's going to be 3 arrows. I want to say it's like 120 seconds to shoot them each round. You're going to shoot 10 rounds. Yeah. And then score it up. So total score, each arrow can be up to 10 points.
Okay.
So out of 300 is kind of going to be what your score is.
I see.
If you're interested in outdoor, they have like some V formations, which is going to be different distances. Okay. I typically would shoot 50 meters outdoor, which is kind of the standard for like the USA tournaments, things like that.
Okay.
That is, now I'm blanking on like how many rounds that is.
Okay.
But you're going to shoot 6 arrows each round. And then there's 3D, which is kind of newer to me. I did a little bit before, but I had a really hard time shooting 3D with my competition bow. I don't know why. Probably just
interesting.
I don't know. It's like a different mindset for me.
Sure. Yeah.
And 3D is like the foam animals. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And
so
sorry, go ahead.
No.
Yes. No, go for it.
Yeah. So I started shooting that with like my hunting setup. And that's when it really clicked for me. Like, okay, I really like this. So I have a newfound love of 3D.
Yeah.
But sorry, you had something.
No, I was actually just about to say, is that what like got you interested in hunting, or was it the other way around?
Yeah, I just, a lot of my friends, honestly, on the competition side would do hunts also. Okay. And I don't know, it's just something that, again, just kind of clicked, and I was like, I think I would really like that. I very much am like trying to eat healthy. Yeah. And, interested in like high quality meats. And I'm like, what's like a better meat than like grass-fed wild venison or elk or something? Wonderful. So simple. Love the process, and then very much like, hey, like this is a really healthy source of food. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my interest, just seeing other people do it.
Yeah.
And then 3D for sure. It's super great practice, I feel. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. So what changes, this may be like jumping too far, but I'm curious, like what changes when it comes to the skills you need to shoot a stationary target compared to a potentially moving animal?
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm so new to hunting, so
That's okay.
if I'm like totally leading people astray,
That's all right. We're here for the journey and the journey. So
yes.
yeah.
So I know most of the time you're gonna wait until that animal stops, and you want them to be broadside. So you're gonna wait till you've got a really good shot. It's very much like, ethical hunting is making sure that you've got a good shot, that you're gonna kill that animal as quick as possible. Don't want them to suffer. I'm very much like, I cry over roadkill, but hunting doesn't bother me.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it's just kind of like
Totally fair.
Unneedful death,
sense.
like,
Yeah.
hurts my heart so bad.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
the suffering, like, it just kills me. But hunting is like, no, this is for a purpose, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess that's kind of how I differentiate it in my head. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, as from what I've learned and what people kind of have told me, it's very like, it's waiting for the right shot, making sure that they're, in a good spot. I would assume you'd probably track them maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
So this is definitely my journey. Like, okay, I got to figure this out
Yes.
before I get out there and hunt. But
Absolutely. So did the 3D targets, like shooting broadside, for example, is that what you have to do even in 3D competitions? And are you scored based on shooting them correctly like that?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the 3D competitions, they're going to be stationary targets. And then the insert is typically like the vitals. So if you were to hit anywhere in there, that would be a kill shot.
Okay.
And then they have rings within there that's going to be higher points.
Yes. Okay.
There's kind of different types of 3D. So I know for some of them, there's like a 12 ring, or you have to call like, I'm aiming for this.
Oh.
I've only done a couple of those. Most of the time, I guess the ones that I've shot, it's just been, more points the closer you are to the center
Right.
of those rings. But yeah, typically that insert is going to be like the vitals. Like that would be a kill shot anywhere in there. So
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, this is making sense. I went and watched someone shoot the total archery challenge.
yes,
No idea what was happening. I was
Yeah.
just there to like walk around with them and look at, the targets. But I see what you're saying now when they were scoring. That was an interesting competition. Have you ever done one of those?
Yes.
civil
So
archery?
I've done, I want to say 2 of them
Okay.
the last couple of years. Again,
Yeah.
very new to that.
Yeah.
That was so fun though. And
Good.
it's very long range shots. Like
Yeah.
I don't know that I would actually shoot an animal at that
I
long of
got
a
you.
range.
Sure,
I would feel
sure.
a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it was super fun for the experience.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous country.
Yeah.
And
Where did you shoot
landscape.
that?
Here in Utah, they do up at Solitude and Brighton, like the ski resorts.
I think we were at this
Oh my
one, I
gosh.
think. Were you there this last one?
at
this last one?
Yes. I know I
Okay.
was there for sure last year or 2 years ago. Anyways, we were probably at the same one.
Okay, I think
some point,
so.
yeah.
I think
That's
so.
crazy.
It wasn't fun to walk around, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, at least having a bow would be cool, but it was fun to, like, see the process and then know what I would need to bring for the next time. Like, that's always worth watching a competition. So, no, that's super interesting. It's largely based on merit, from what it seems. Like, it didn't seem like anyone was uploading anything on the phone. It was, like, all kind of just tracking themselves.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I actually just shot a 3D competition this last weekend.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You texted me about that.
Yes,
Sorry. I was like
yes.
at a different match for pistol. So
you're
yes.
good, you're
No.
good.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Like, how
So I could have gone solo, but they always want people to kind of go in groups, which is
Makes
way
sense.
more fun. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'd much
Oh.
rather shoot with people.
dude,
Um,
preaching to the choir.
yes.
I just had an episode with Alistair, one of our shooting buddies, and I was like, I almost only go to competitions sometimes for my friends. And then
yeah.
I've recently been like, okay, now I kind of want to do well here. So
Yeah.
I totally get it. Anyway.
Yes, I know. And then everybody's so nice too. And it's just like, because I got paired up with a random group and everybody was so helpful, so sweet, like giving me tips and like how to shoot, all that stuff. Loved it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so usually we get paired up with a group or a couple people
Okay.
and you'll all take scorecards and just score. So usually one person will write, you'll have 1 or 2 people scoring the arrows, like calling out the scores. For tack, I just shot it for fun. So I don't even know if you're supposed to score it.
Oh.
Excuse me. But yeah, I just shot it for fun.
Okay.
And just went around and took pictures of some of my good shots and tried not to lose any arrows.
Yeah, that's how I would like to do it. If I'm being honest, like there's nothing wrong. I'm a very competitive person, yes, but I think sometimes it's nice to choose what I'm like super competitive at versus like what I like to enjoy, even though it has like some type of skill aspect to it. So I don't know there. We'll have to see what happens. But I'd like to shoot there's one in July here, right?
Okay, probably.
I think.
Yeah.
And the same resort you're talking about.
Yeah, so they do have a tack. I feel like they moved it somewhere down south.
Okay.
And I could be totally wrong.
Good to know.
But yeah, I think they moved it for this year. But they have a couple of them like all over the country. Okay. And then I just found out there's another group that does like a really similar thing. It's like Team Whiskey.
Oh.
And they're more like west because a lot of them are kind of like farther back east.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm hoping to go to some of those this summer. We'll see like what my schedule allows for. But yeah.
Does it help that you're a teacher when it comes to your schedule to be able to do that? Okay. Yeah. Really cool. That's nice.
I'm still trying to figure out. I might do some private tutoring over the summer.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Okay.
So kind of depending on what I do with that, then we'll see. So
totally fair. Yeah. I'm excited for you. No, that's super cool. Okay. And at one point you shot for Hoyt, right?
Yeah, so I actually worked for them. Yes.
Shot their bows, but not necessarily like on the team. I don't know they have teams. I'm so like new to this world. So like all these questions are probably not articulated the best
you're good.
But
yeah, okay. So I had like a local team that I was on with my coach.
Yes.
Shot on that team for a long time. And then USA Archery introduced like their regional teams.
Oh, nice.
And it's like a youth team.
Yeah.
So when I was within the age, I shot on the red team, which is their regional elite development for the West. So that's like Team USA's regional team for youth. So I shot that, which was super fun.
Yeah.
And then tried out for Team USA. Didn't ever quite make it, but I got within like top 10.
Wonderful.
And so had a great time doing that. And met like so many amazing people.
Yeah.
So many good friends. And so that was a super awesome journey.
That is super cool. Are you interested in trying out again? Like, where would you go from here with competitive archery?
Yeah, I would definitely want to shoot some more of those tournaments. Like all the USATs, those like Team USA trials are so fun. Super good experience. Like your nerves are just so high. Like especially the first time you go, it's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, loved that. I know I heard, I guess I said I know. Let me clarify.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard that they just introduced compound archery to the Olympics. So it's been strictly recurve for a long time, but I think 2028 is the first year.
Yeah. Are you interested?
I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know necessarily. If I like really get back into it, like I think that would be so cool.
Absolutely.
Don't know that I would make it, but like
totally
that's a cool aspiration. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to see where the hunting stuff takes me.
Yes.
Definitely. I need to get my competition bow like out and shooting and get myself to some outdoor tournaments.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm doing well and feel like I'm up for it, like that could definitely be in the future. We'll see.
Absolutely.
Anyways, it's totally big talk, but
I must say it's not too big by any means. Like I'm a big like delusional believer person. Like I just kind of believe I can. I don't know. I have two sides. I of course have the very like standard what's it called? Imposter syndrome built in.
Yeah.
But when it comes to picking up a sport and doing something, I've always really felt like I could just do anything. And like it depends a lot on like your resources as well and like who you have helping you. I'm going to the Shotgun World Shoot this year. I picked up shotgun like in 3 months, and like normally people would look at that and be like, that's impossible. But if you really want something, you know, it's just it can absolutely happen. And then what's really cool is like it sounds like there's a lot of crossover between the disciplines, right? For hunting and competition archery. One will only make the other one better. Yeah, I would think. For sure. So like there's so much alignment there. It's not like one would be distracting you from another. So I say you should freaking go for it. Yeah. So if that's true, like you said 2028.
I think so. That's the next Olympics, right? I don't know. I'm not like, I don't follow.
Oh, we're in 26, right?
Yeah.
26.
So maybe it's, I don't know.
I have no idea. I know that we are hosting like Utah, Salt Lake, Park City areas. Aren't they hosting the Winter Olympics in 30?
So.
Or I don't know.
I'm like, I might just be spreading like total false information. I'm like, guys, like get ready for the 2020
No one
Olympics.
listening to this podcast thinks that everything is right. I've made plenty of mistakes. I've had guest speakers be like, can you redact this? And I'm like, no, it's already live. So if it's not right, don't worry about it. But if it is something that's an opportunity, you should for sure seize it. At least go for it and like open yourself up to, I know you're not asking me, but I am, again, like I have that delusional belief in myself and in my friends and family and all that. And like, I like to spread delusional belief. Yeah. We're in a society where we're very much encouraged to conform, you know, and stay in our lane. Yeah. And I think that's just unacceptable. So like you should definuld go for it.
Yes. No, I love that.
Yeah. No, that would be really fun. Cool. What would you have to do to qualify for something like that? Do you know?
I would think that it's similar like the USATs. I'm trying to remember. I again, this might be totally wrong. I'm pretty sure you would qualify for the USATs, make the USA team.
Okay.
And then I feel like there's like an additional qualification or qualifying shoot, something like that.
Okay.
But my friends that did make the United States team, like when I was competing, I believe they took the top 5 and then 3 shot. And so then you had 2 alternates. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that the process is similar, but again, it's compound versus recurve. And so
I see.
Anyways, the compound development is recent.
This episode of She Shield is brought to you by Right to Bear. You've probably heard me say that self-defense is more than simply carrying a firearm. It's awareness, avoidance, and preparation for anything that is to come your way. And that's why I'm partnering with Right to Bear. They stand by defenders like you and me. You'll receive benefits like expert witness support, psychological care, gun replacement, and even protection for other lawful self-defense tools like pepper spray, knives, and even your hands and feet if you have to use them in a struggle. What sets Right to Bear apart is that they are dedicated to education and immediate legal response. In case you do ever have to protect yourself, you have access to a 24/7 attorney-answered emergency hotline so that you are never alone. What I love most, though, has to be the personal connection that Right to Bear will have with you as a member. For example, Frank, the president of Right to Bear, will give you a personal phone call when he hears about a claim being filed. That level of care in the industry is extremely rare. If you carry, train, and believe in thinking ahead to protect yourself and your family, consider getting a membership with Right to Bear. If you use my code FIT4FIA10, you will get 10% off your membership, and the link to access this and to learn more is located in the show notes of this episode, which are the notes below the title. Protecting yourself and your family should not leave you defenseless afterwards. Stay safe and stay vigilant with Right to Bear. Interesting. So right now, recurve is the only...
Like I said, I think they just added it, but historically, like when I was shooting and everything, it was always recurve, so no compound.
Interesting.
But they would go to like, there's still like the World Cup and like other international tournaments.
Makes sense.
They would do those, but just not the Olympics.
Yeah.
So
that's super interesting.
Yeah. There's a huge push for it because, you know, there's a ton of people that shoot compound and it's like, oh, like, it's already a sport. We just want this other part of it. So
right. I've always felt like I'm gonna look at this really quick. I've always felt like the Olympic my sound is totally on. The Olympic archery setups always look like compound. Am I wrong?
They do. They have like fancier sights and some things versus just like a traditional like bare bow or something like that, or like a long bow.
Okay.
They do. They definitely look. They're very shiny, very pretty. Long stabilizers.
Yes. Maybe that's what I got confused, and hopefully that tells you how much I know about this.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So like this is what they look like, right?
Yes.
Okay. So these are just like recurve. I didn't realize that. I thought these were compound.
Yeah. So recurve, but fancier sight, the long stabilizer. So you'll see that on compound too.
Yeah.
But like my hunting setup has short stabilizers.
Huh.
So just depends on
your practicality, probably. Okay, that's super cool. Yeah. And stabilizers are just those long rods that
throw weight on the ends, help you with your movement. So
Makes
back
sense.
Stabilizer is going to help you. Front stabilizer is going to help.
Okay, nice. Yeah, and I didn't even realize that hunting. So, okay, tell me this. For hunting,
yes,
because someone was like, who was looking at my bow on the wall the other day? I think it was Rebby. She was like, dude, I don't think you could actually kill an animal with this weight. And I was like, I don't know. It's a 35-pound weight.
Yeah.
Bow. Do you need to have a certain weight for a certain distance to be able to like penetrate deep enough? Like, do you have to do math?
Yeah. There's nothing math. I honestly am not sure what the requirements are. So I know compound, I think, is going to penetrate more than a recurve.
This makes sense.
So the people that hunt with like bare bow recurve, oh my gosh, like huge props to them. That's so cool.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my gosh, I love it. But so I shoot, I have 50-pound limbs on my bow.
Oh.
And I think I'm good to kill a deer with that.
Nice.
So anyways,
that's good to know.
Again, I'm like, I put in for a tag, but I haven't drawn one yet. So if I do get something, then I'm like, I have a whole lot of research. So
what does that mean? Sorry, I'm trying to reconnect my phone to my camera. What does that put in for a tag mean?
Yeah. So there is a draw system. And again, this is all like so new to me.
Okay, that's okay. That's perfect though. Because the expert might be so disconnected from this that they don't know how to explain it. You know, there's always,
Yeah. So there is a draw system, and basically you put in like what you're hoping for. And if you don't get it, you can earn points. And the more points you have, the more likely you are to get it. So you'd put in for like your general animal. So I did like general deer this year.
Okay.
Then your limited entry. So like bigger animals, like better hunting spots.
Okay.
And I did elk. And then your once in a lifetime. So like you can shoot this like once. And you're not very likely to get it. So I did mountain goat.
Oh.
So you put in for what you want.
Yeah.
And then they do a lottery. And again, if you don't get it, I think you earn points and you can build up those points. You're more likely to get it. But this is the first time I put in, so I have no points.
Sorry, this is just to hunt an animal?
Yes.
This is the process you have to go through? Are you joking?
Yeah. So there are over-the-counter tags from what I understand.
Okay.
I think that's mostly like does. I don't know exactly what all they offer, but yes, you can get some over-the-counter ones where you just buy it and you're good to go. And then there's different units. So like you can only hunt in certain places. You got to know like the public land versus the private land.
Right.
Like it's pretty intense. And I knew it was a process, but I didn't know all the ins and outs of the process.
Yeah.
So it was like really daunting. But once somebody kind of helped me and like walked me through it, I've had so much help on this journey, but it's awesome. Once somebody kind of walked me through, I was like, okay, like this is doable. Like I understand it enough now. There's still so much.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's why private land is so nice, because you can just go out and probably do your OnlyFans.
I think if it's your own private land, then I think you get like something.
I'm trying to like sit comfortably.
No, you're good.
This is my own table, and I'm like, why is this so hard? Like, I need to fix this anyway.
Yes. No, you're good. I think if it's your own land, you can hunt it, but I don't know if you need like a special tag.
Yeah,
I don't know. Up in the air about that. And then you can hunt other people's private land with their permission. So you'd have to get like permission from the owner.
Okay.
And then there's like ranches. So like I did a duck hunt and a quail hunt on like a ranch. Like somebody owned it and they like give you permission to shoot.
I see.
Anyways. But it's like they like raise the animals themselves. They're not like wild animals.
I see.
Anyways.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
This is a whole new world to me.
Yes.
I get a lot of people, especially being in the industry, that ask, are you going to get into hunting? Are you interested? I'm definitely interested, but I know it's a big commitment. It's I've heard of like hunting bears and like mountain lions out here. Have you heard of that? Like
I'm not super aware, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know about bears maybe locally, but I know mountain lions are a thing that like people, I like know someone who was tracking one and I was like, cool, nice.
I think that's usually like they get like all the hounds and stuff and like track them. I think I've seen some of that.
Yes,
which is so cool. But I'm like definitely doing something different from that. But I love it. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, so that is very cool. That is very cool. And so when it comes to hunting for you, do you feel like you have a more kind of personal connection to it with the bow as opposed to a firearm? Is that something that you have thought about?
I'm definitely down to do either. Sure. I actually for my like second choice, I did rifle on my elk hunt. Okay. So I'm definitely open to hunting with like a rifle. But yeah, a lot of people ask the same thing, like, oh, like, are you into hunting? Have you ever thought about it? And I'm like, well, I, did that duck hunt and the quail hunt with the shotgun. Yep. And I have a bow. I'm like, I feel like I need to put these two things together. Sure. So my first choice would definitely be with a bow, but totally open to rifle. And probably for sure in the future would do that too. Yeah. So
both take a ton of skill, I would think.
Yeah, I'm like so nervous for it. I practice a lot, so I feel like confident in my shooting, but I just, the whole process of like getting close to an animal and then you're shooting uphill or downhill potentially. Yeah. And there's just so many different
wind.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I have had a lot of practice in like wind and rain. Okay. So I'm like pretty comfortable with that. But again, wind and rain on a flat surface, right? Okay. Versus shooting uphill, shooting downhill. Right. So 3D tournaments are super great for that. You have a lot of different shots, varying difficulty, different terrain. But yeah, I definitely feel like I have a lot to prepare for. And I'm like, even if I get a tag this year and I don't get anything, like just getting out, like on the mountain, getting used to it, hiking with my bow, hiking with my pack, going to these 3D tournaments and like also practicing that, I think is huge. Absolutely. I would be happy. So I'm like, I have no expectations for this year. I'm just like, I feel like I just need to start the process. Yes, I love that. And then obviously build up points and so anyways.
How exciting. Okay. Yeah. What changes with wind and rain? Like, what do you have to adjust?
Yeah. So with wind, you're usually going to aim off. Okay. So at least when I did competitions, I would kind of feel how much it was blowing and kind of guess, okay, I think I need to aim off in, the 4 or in the 3 ring or in the 6 ring or in the 9 ring, right?
Oh. Do you like throw up sand and see which direction it?
No, I'm like, if I had time for that, I would. But they usually have like those feather flags on the range. Oh. So sometimes it's like, okay, if it's bending over this much,
Yeah.
you know, aim off a little bit. If it's like touching the ground, like aim on the other person's target.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
I've definitely been in some tournaments where it's like, it's not about like if you miss or not. It's just like how many misses you have. Like just the wind was insane.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, but yeah, usually it's fine. You just aim off a little bit and you're good.
Interesting.
But that's really, it just comes down to knowing your bow
Yeah.
and shooting in those scenarios. Like you don't know how much you need to aim off unless you've shot and win before.
Okay.
And so just practice there really honestly is the biggest thing.
That makes sense. It depends on the bow. Oh my God. There's so many elements to consider. That's like so beyond what I thought you had to do. Yeah. Okay. And then with rain, what adjusts? Same thing?
Yeah. My biggest thing was I would just get water in my peep sight. So like the little thing that
like super important thing that you have to look at. Yeah.
And then it's like the clock is running down and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I gotta get this water out. So just finding ways to get that out quickly.
Okay.
Getting water on my sight, different things like that.
Yeah.
And then just being wet. And it's like, this is just miserable.
That's more similar to physical competitions. Like your optic can get wet. People will bring like those shower caps and they'll put them around their gun to make sure the water doesn't get on the optics. It always looks so funny, but it's really smart. And then you're like, damn it, wish I had a shower cap.
Yeah.
But no, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so for someone listening who's maybe considered archery, hasn't gotten into it, maybe they're even interested in firearms, but they feel like archery is, you know, a step into the precision art. What would you recommend when it comes to getting started?
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing, just like hunting for me, is just starting. Going, asking questions, finding people that know what they're doing, and just, getting advice from other people. Kind of figuring out what you're interested or what draws you to the sport. Yeah. So like if you're wanting recurve or compound, if you're in it for hunting versus competition, I think just asking those questions for yourself and kind of getting to know what you're interested in. And then find a really good bow shop, honestly. That was so huge having that support. I do a lot of my own work on my bow.
Okay.
But I'm still very much like, I can do most things, but anything involving a bow press, I'm like, I just want somebody to supervise me. Like I can do it, but like, you know, make sure I'm doing it right. But yeah, definitely when you're starting out, like find a good bow shop that can help you. They can help tune your bow, get you set up, get your peep set, get you the right rest, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And just start.
Okay.
So it's a long process. So
absolutely,
just get in it and ask questions.
Yeah. Would you say starting with a traditional setup versus a compound has any advantage or other way around?
I think honestly, just preference. Like whatever you're more excited about, what you're going to go shoot. Like getting my hunting setup was actually really huge for me. My competition setup, it's not like it's that much like setup to get to the range, but there is like, I got to kind of put it together, get my sight on. I definitely baby it. So I'm like, everything's in hard cases. But my hunting setup is a lot more just pick up and go.
Okay.
And so I've found now that I have my hunting setup, I just practice a lot more. And so, which obviously helps me for competition too. Right. Just being, you know, shooting in a bow, being in the archery range. Right. And practicing. So that's been really good for me. And I would say if you're really passionate about recurve and kind of like, oh, I want to do compound for hunting, like start with a recurve, like do what you're going to be passionate about. So
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Would you say that a good comparison, this feels silly to ask, but you know, F it is my podcast. When it comes to like competition rifle versus like a rifle setup for hunting, would you say it's a similar difference in the setups? Like they're different enough where they require their kind of own setup, but the discipline and like the some of the technical skills are different as far as like, you know, the terrain differences with hunting compared to like a flat range for like traditional archery competitions. What would you say to that?
I would say the overall base form is going to be the same.
Okay.
So if you're really good shooting flat, like you definitely are going to need to learn like how to angle your body. There's definitely, archery is very much, there's a lot of opinions, a lot of different techniques, but figuring out how you're going to aim up or down. Some people say you aim at the target and draw back. Most people, I think it's more common that you draw straight like you're shooting on flat ground and then you're going to bend your waist down. But that's something you have to learn, and it feels so like, it's just different, right? Like it's not natural. So yeah, there definitely are some technique differences. You could totally shoot with a hunting setup for competition or a competition setup for hunting. Like as far as performance, I mean, those bows are insane now. Yeah. No matter what you pick, like it's going to be a high quality bow, right? If you're getting like a high-end hunting bow or a high-end competition bow. Right. Biggest thing is just going to be visibility, right? So maybe a hot pink competition bow. wouldn't be good for hunting.
Right.
But yeah, as far as performance, like I feel like I shoot both of them the same. They're both very high end, I guess. That's good. So very precise. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, it does. It does. And then like we're going to the range today. What are some training goals you have and what will you kind of do to achieve those goals? And we might, if you just want to have fun today, that's cool too. But I would assume you have some goals with what you're doing coming up soon.
Yes. Yeah. So definitely, like I said, with my hunting bow, that's one I brought for today.
Okay, cool. I'm so excited.
I totally rushed my pin setup. So I have a fixed pin sight.
Okay.
And I got all of them pretty dialed. And then my 60 pin, I totally did not realize that the range was closing. And they're like, hey, we close right now. So I had like 2 shots at 60 and then went and shot a tournament. Don't recommend that.
Totally fair.
Definitely don't recommend that. So definitely need to do some shooting at 60 yards.
Okay.
And then, just having fun and just, again, getting behind a bow. Just being a practicing my form.
Yeah.
That's honestly the biggest thing. So just that time behind the bow.
Very cool. Nice. Okay. Yeah. And I think the only other thing, as far as like what I've been curious about is if someone is wanting to truly get better at, archery competition and in the shooting sports, especially someone concealed carrying can go into USPSA and kind of learn how to do local competitions in order to get better at their firearms, just become more proficient, comfortable with the gun. Would you say that it's the same concept for archery? If you are interested in just becoming better at the sport, going to like local, maybe smaller matches at first is a good way to just like exponentially progress?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend finding some local tournaments. Going and shooting those, you're going to meet a ton of people. Then you'll have people to shoot with. They'll give you advice. Again, the archery community is so nice.
Yeah.
Literally everybody's so nice. I love it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, going to some local tournaments and just getting used to it.
Yes.
Or even doing like, artificial tournaments, like with your friends, like go to the range and just do like simulate a short tournament, do a shot timer, see if you could get all your shots off within the right time.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, practice scoring so you can see where you're at. Like all that would be super helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing that simulates like the stress and the anxiety of like, okay, I've got to shoot, I got to get all my arrows off, of a competition, right? So just starting small and then working your way up, I think is a great place to start.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's really lovely. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Archery, I don't know how much I told you about my background with that, but it was a way for my dad wasn't like super present when I was younger, so my uncle would come over and he'd always bring me just like a bow and arrows. I at some point started to keep them, at my home, but I was really young when we started. And archery became an opportunity for us to bond and also like to be kind of aligned with like my body as a kid. Like kids are really awkward with their bodies. Like they don't understand totally how they work. And while they have proprioception generally, it feels weird to like get to know your body as a kid. And that's why we put them in so many different sports. And archery was a way for me to like be close to my breath and like really think about, where I was indexing and understanding the orientation of my body in relation to, this kind of like mechanical device. And it really was something so special to me. And like anytime people talk about archery, I'm always excited to be like, I've done a little bit here, Yeah. I'm very clear about my place in it. Never done any competitive archery, but it's right up my alley. I know like Lena and I have talked about doing Total Archery Challenge and like doing some fun things. I think she sat down with Cameron. Is it Cameron Hayes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cameron Haynes. Yeah.
Haynes. Yeah. Yes. I think he set up a bow for her. And
oh my gosh,
she was like, I need to like dust that off and go. So we like went to the archery range like I want to say like 3 months ago. And that was so much fun just to like go there and shoot and do something in the precision space that wasn't shooting like with the firearm. So it has a special place in my heart. And I don't think that it's talked about like at least very much from what I've seen outside of like hunting or like archery competition is kind of very niche. And I think it has the community aspect that like competition shooting has and all like the gear aspect, like you can really nerd out like you can with shooting. Like there's some really awesome things about it. And I wanted to make sure we kind of talked about it. But as far as like, are you interested in kind of on the other side, are you interested in getting into firearms anymore going forward? I know we were together a little bit with the cool fire system, but are you interested in doing anything like that?
Yeah, I would love to do competitions.
Yeah.
I think that would be so fun.
Yes.
And then we talked a little bit. I really want to get my concealed carry.
Yes. Beautiful.
That's also a goal of mine. Hopefully this year I can start both of those.
Yeah.
Get started on that
Yes.
that road and in that process.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, those are definitely some aspirations of mine. So I've been very much
Beautiful.
archery. Like I said, I grew up with firearms.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of shooting, but really getting into it and like making it almost equal to my archery is kind of my goal.
I like that.
And just doing both to the same level of precision that I do archery is kind of
absolutely
my goal for this year.
Very cool. Yeah. Do you have any mindset things that you've learned from archery competitions that you take into each competition? Like any systems you have in place to make sure you're like mentally ready?
Yeah, I think biggest thing is just, well, at least for archery, like one bad shot, like it's okay. Like focus back in, you know, you have another shot, like it's never over. So just kind of that like determination. Some of the harder shoots where it's super windy or super rainy, it's like just embrace the suck and do your best.
Yes.
And just like, this is going to be really rough.
Right.
But we're all experiencing the same hardship.
I'm so sorry. I was really trying not to sneeze. Okay, sorry. We're back. And we're back. Okay, sorry.
You're good. But yeah, just knowing like we're all in this and we're all struggling through it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just kind of that embrace the suck mindset. Like this is gonna be rough and we're gonna do it. And I think that's helped me in life too, just through hard situations. Like we're gonna get through this and there's an end in sight, and all I can do is focus on what I'm doing right now in this moment and do the best that I can.
I love that. Wind or rain kind of tough.
Yeah,
so
I really like that. Just like, all right, like we're gonna shoot and we're gonna do the best that we can, and that's all we can ask. So
absolutely know that bullets are unaffected by wind, and typically for the USPSA competitions locally at least. And then if it's raining, we cover the targets in plastic, and that is about the most annoying it gets. Besides being rained on. So same here with that. But that's so wonderful. I've enjoyed this conversation so much. I feel like it's given us a really good, at least me for sure, and the listeners, a really great whole like full picture of kind of like what is out there in the archery world between some of the different types of bows, the competitions that are available, and how it relates to kind of hunting. As far as like 2026 comes, do you have any particular goals besides just getting into hunting and what you've talked about so far? Yeah,
definitely getting into hunting, getting more into guns, competition. I did just start an Instagram account.
So okay, very excited about that. Linked in the show notes, which are the notes below the title of this episode. You guys should absolutely go follow them. Yes.
Yeah, so that's really honestly, I've always been so terrible at taking pictures. And I'm like, I have had like so many amazing opportunities and met so many cool people. Like I need somewhere to put it. So it's gonna kind of just be documenting my journey, and hopefully I can help some people out, help people get started.
Yes.
And just being honestly just a positive account. I feel like you can't have too many just good accounts. So happy, positive. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do and sharing my journey. So
for sure. I'm so excited to see you do that. I know we've talked a little bit about what your goals with social media are, but I would love to see you, like a lot of the questions I asked today are genuine questions I did not write down before. I just thought like, I tend to do this with all the episodes. It works out. I was just asking kind of selfishly to know for myself, like, how can I get more involved in this sport? And like, I'm at capacity right now, I would say, beyond like a kind of a casual range day where we have fun together, like, and maybe some archery challenges where I'm kind of just doing kind of what you did at the last one, between like USPSA TAC games and Shotgun World Shoot. I'm,
little maxed out.
And with all of that said, these are things that people absolutely are curious about. I mean, this is a whole world that is just kind of, it doesn't have the like, from what I've seen, I mean, would you agree that the firearms industry is a little bit like, there's a little bit more emphasis on it as far as like the exposure online? Do you feel like it's harder to find archery accounts and connections there?
Yeah, the gun community is just so much bigger.
Okay.
So like you said, like archery, it's a little bit more niche. I think my first realization of how big of a difference it was I went to Vegas, which is a huge tournament, international tournament, tons of vendors, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a huge show.
Yeah.
And then I went to SHOT Show, and I was like, okay, so
way bigger.
This is insane. Yeah, this is like the biggest like archery like vendor type, scenario. And then went to SHOT Show, and I was like, okay,
remember this past one?
I wasn't at this past one. I was at the one previous.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, do you think you'll go to this next one by any chance?
I might. Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to see you there. That's super cool. I wanted to ask that because I'm obviously very like in the gun community. So like it to me, I'm like, yeah, archery is smaller, right? But I don't know because I'm not like, that's not my For You page. I follow maybe 5 people in archery. So it's interesting to know that it you don't feel it has the kind of attention and following that the gun industry has right now.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, just more niche.
Sure.
But yeah, everybody, all the pros are like so down to earth. Honestly, if you shoot any local competitions, especially here in Utah, like you'll be on the line right next to like the pros.
That's awesome.
Which is so cool. Like I don't know if the gun industry is that same way.
It's a little bit more spread out, probably. I don't know. But yeah, like you can, Lena Michalik, I mean, she is a pro. And you can, if you go to a local match here, for sure, she might be on your squad. Yeah, very possible. Yeah, it fills up quickly, though. Once her name's on there, I'm always like, do you have to tell me what squad you're going to be on? Because it's going to fill up, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, I love that about archery. Just everybody's, again, so helpful. And then the pros are just so down to earth, totally willing to help you. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I'm excited to see you use your page to like show one, just like, tell your story. Over 10 years is an insane amount for especially how young you are. That's so cool. And then also be able to answer questions like, how can I exponentially increase my skills? Like, I'm looking for a community. Can I get that with archery? Like, gosh, I'm excited to see you expand that selfishly. I want to learn, and I'm excited to see what you do there. So if you're listening, go check out her page. Get there early. It is new, and you get to see kind of grow with her on social media, which is an exciting venture. Can be overwhelming, but mostly exciting. Keep the framework of exciting. You'll be fine.
Yes.
And before we end the episode, I always like to ask guest speakers what they'd like to leave the listeners with, as far as like, it could be advice, general stuff. Your wind and rain, your encouraging thing earlier was amazing, but is there anything else you'd like to leave them with?
Yeah. I don't know, I guess something that's just been on my mind lately is, so I have so many different hobbies and things that I'm into, and then so many new ones that I want to get into. And so just something that I've thought about, and probably one of the themes on my social media page will just be, get into the things that you love, and you don't have to be the best at everything that you do. I think just shooting for fun has taken a lot of the pressure off for me.
Yeah.
I was kind of out of it for a little bit, and then coming back, I'm like, I don't ever want to lose the fun, because I'm putting so much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
And so just, doing the things that you love, even if you're not the very best at it, you can still aim for those like high goals, like the Olympics, all the things. But ultimately at the end of the day, like if you love it, like do it and go for it. And always just remember to have fun. That's kind of my thing.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Not to that. We should definitely cut it there, but I'm going to ramble for a minute. There's an article I read when I was in high school, and it was about this famous violinist, symphony principal violinist. He took a break for the first time in his life from the symphony and went on like a 2-month vacation. And he said that he realized that just like music without rests, right, there would be no music. And it gave him this perspective to come back and enjoy it in a different way. And while breaks, maybe if they're not anticipated or planned, whatever, I think they bring that like a perspective that you can come back with, and you can then become more successful with that new perspective, because it has grown with you. And so I think that's a really lovely thing to listen, leave the listeners with. And gosh, I'm just excited to see what you do. You're gonna propel.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
awesome.
Super excited for this journey. So anyway, anybody who wants to follow along,
yes,
it'll be my personal journal on social media. But
absolutely. And once you kind of progress and go on this journey, and after you do your first true like hunting experience outside of small game, I think that's the right way to say that, right? Because you're going for larger game now.
Large game.
Okay.
Yes.
I heard this. Like,
you got it. You got it.
For real. Because the guy walks into a store and he's like, small game or large game? I think it's the ballerina, John Wick, and he's like, and she's like, big game. And anyway, I was like, that must be. Anyway, that's all I know about hunting. Anyway, thank you for coming on the podcast. I think we have some archery to get to, so let's go check it out. I appreciate you.
Awesome.